Why, hello there. I am Courtney. What's up? Okay, so I decided I wanted to do a project, another embroidery project on jean. I had a completely different type of jean jacket that I wanted to work with, so I decided I wanted to do something interesting. What's going to keep my attention? Something big. So I was going to do 1,000 French knots because I decided somehow if you're doing the same stitch it's going to be faster, right? I don't know if that's true, but I did my knots. So I started by trying to make a rainbow. Why? What was I doing? Oh yeah, I needed to figure out how to get to 1,000, right? And math's not currently my strong suit. So I was trying to figure out if how many pieces you need in each color. First of all, it was how many colors do I have of each color. So, sorry, I'm distracted. Ultimately, I did not have very much yellow, so it wound up being that I only had 8 different yellow shades that I felt like were really yellow looking yellows. So 8 became the number. So I decided on 8 of each color of the rainbow from purple to red. And I was going to do that rainbow. I don't know if I said that yet or not. I'm doing a rainbow because I wanted to play in all the shades, and I figured the only 2 things I could think of at all were balloons and rainbows. So I went with a rainbow and some clouds. And I figured to outline my clouds I'll use some gray, and then obviously the inside of the cloud is white. I didn't want my colors all just loose and randomly sitting around because I knew I was gonna just knock them over. And conveniently enough, I have all of the picture frames taken off of my hallway temporarily. So I'm using a picture frame that's now sitting over there, and it's got all the colors on it, which I also almost knocked out on the floor with my elbow a million times. That thing is going to get moved around so much. But, you know. So I'm going to just pick up this jean jacket and start trying to draw out a basic, what's it called? Rainbow. So that I can start. So I've got these washout embroidery pens, which I did just learn something fun about. Hey, look, there's my thing. The embroidery pens, don't just throw it in the washing machine with soap. That can cause a chemical reaction and turn it into dye. You just soak it in a bowl of cold water and it comes out. It's really hard to get a hoop over thick jean like this. I struggled, but I did eventually get it. And now I'm going to start just doing my knots. When I started with the red, I really had no plan. I didn't realize yet that my spatial reasoning skills were lacking severely. So I didn't know how far up to take the first color. I knew that I wanted approximately 15 knots of each color as far as the rainbow is concerned, and I don't really know what happened with that first color. I just kept going. So then I realized I needed to draw on placement lines for myself as I went on so that I could figure out where to stop, I guess. Where to stop this whole project. So technically, I guess, yes, I did sign up for a knot challenge. I wanted to do 1,000 French knots. This whole process was so much knotting. The string was constantly getting knotted every time I'd try to pull my needle through. Knotted on the front, it knotted on the back, it didn't knot pretty. It knotted in the wrong kind of knots so much. So I hit well over 1,000 knots on this. Also, I kept losing track when I was counting, so it's a minimum of 1,000. I don't know how much it actually is. I only counted the knots that I could actually 100% definitively say, yes, that is one individual knot. So minimum 1,000. I don't know what the real number is. Did I just say that? I just said that twice. And there was yet another storm going on while this was happening. I don't know what day this is. I don't know what day anything is anymore. I've lost complete track of time. there was some big storm going on to the point where I live on a corner. Both roads, and I'm up a little bit of a hill, both roads on both sides of me were rivers. Not like deep rivers, but you could see the flow of the water, you know, going both directions off down to the actual river, which is a few houses away. Yeah, that was riveting, wasn't it? I tried to keep my stitching pretty and neat. So as I went on, I learned various things about knotting and how to make this easier. I have extreme claustrophobia, so I didn't think this through all that much. But I thought, okay, well, since I keep making knots, I'm gonna like stick my finger in the loop, like when you tie a shoe when you're a kid and you stick your thumb in there, so that there's something so it doesn't go all the way. Words. Anyways, I kept trying to do that with my thumb so that I wouldn't get the knot to pull too soon and then leave this big bump. And then I kept getting my thumb trapped. And I have claustrophobia, so I would panic and I'd have to stop as I figured out how to get my thumb out with one hand. And that happened so many times I can't remember. This project took a minimum of 8 hours. I'm not exactly certain in total how much it took. So again, oh hey, that little thing I was using. So behind it is a drawing I did. I like bunnies. Oh, you don't know what it is a drawing of yet. Well, I mean, yeah. So I like bunnies. So I spent time doing that. I think there was something else I was going to talk about. Why do I not? I needed to like write a note. I had a note. I thought, no. Well, I felt like I had an actual thing I was going to say. Why can I not ever freaking remember anything? Did I say how many colors I used? So it's 8 of each color of the rainbow. And then there's 6 colors of the rainbow. And then I have 2 colors for the clouds. So I got 50 colors here in my 1000 knot challenge jacket. And I thought I'd do other stuff to this jacket. So this is most likely not a finished piece. I have a few ideas for what I want to do to it. I just think it needs more color than this. Just a few little pieces here and there as I go. Did we already see the grapes? I think that was yesterday, right? Did we see the grape bowl go by yet? Or was that when I was wearing this pink shirt? At some point during this, have you ever had an organic grape? I apparently have never in my life had an organic grape. There is tape on my monitor. So my mother and my sister, I had a couple sisters that flew in to stay with us for a while while there's surgeries and stuff happening. So anyways, my mother and my sister went to some, what are they called, where it's tents outside and you go buy fruit, a farmer's market. And they came back with some organic fruit. Super fun, right? And then I tried to eat the grapes because I figured, you know, a grape is a grape, right? Grapes apparently have seeds in them if they're organic. So then I didn't know, how do I eat this? So first of all, I had to spit out the seed because are they poisonous? I know an apple seed is poisonous. Is a grape seed poisonous? I didn't know. So grape attempt 2, I tried to bite into it, assuming now, okay, there's one seed, right? Because fruit has one seed if it's shaped like that. Apparently that's not true either. They can have 0 seeds, they can have 4 seeds. So that didn't work either. So I had no idea how to eat these grapes. Ultimately, I wound up sitting at a cutting board with a knife and cutting the edge off so that I could just peel all the seeds out so I could see if there's seeds in there or not. They were delicious grapes, let me tell you. I just don't know how to eat them and could very well have done that wrong. Okay, I sped this up a bit. I need to learn a lesson in patience. That is something I don't think I'm ever going to learn. I have tried for years to learn patience. I still haven't. Okay, so again, the audio on this is definitely not what I thought it would be. I don't know what's going on with the audio. I spent a few hours the last couple of days working on it. I have contacted support a few times and it still doesn't connect. They have done so many things and it still doesn't connect. So I don't know. The sound works, but the microphone doesn't, and it did a minute ago and it doesn't now, so I don't know what's going on. I'm not great at figuring that kind of thing out, but I thought this is probably gonna be good enough, like, right? I don't know what I did last time, but I managed to figure something out. Maybe this still worked last time. I don't remember. I don't even know how many days last time has been, but it hasn't even been a week. So I think this used to work a week ago. So I decided to make this bigger so you can see the knots a little better. They're not perfect, and I definitely could have filled in more of the yellow. I didn't realize when I was doing it that like 15 for each color would be inconsistent. I didn't realize that the colors in the middle were going to need to be more knots, and the colors at the bottom maybe a little less. Also, I thought all embroidery thread is the same, right? If it's a 6 strand, it's going to be the same thickness, right? No, it's not. I made all these knots and I noticed so many of the colors were inconsistently thick. Like some of the colors you'll get this big, beautiful, perfect French knot out of, and then some of them they're teeny, tiny knots. So like, I mean, that's fine for some things, but how do I tell which of my colors are gonna disappoint me partway through a project? You can't. You have to feel them. You can't just look at it. So anyways, hey, did you see my little art? I should stop on that for a second. Hold on. Okay. So many editing breaks on this one. I could never figure out what angle is the best angle on this. I never decided if I thought it should be the angle I'm working on or if I thought it seemed less weird for it to be my hands. So I ultimately decided absolutely every angle could be considered weird or normal. So I decided all the angles are going to be used. I don't know. A lot of thought went into this, even if it seems like zero thought went into this. Magically enough. Also, a lot of math skills went into this, even though I ultimately wound up kind of winging things almost immediately. So filling out the little clouds was very rewarding. I didn't want to, I had to do 98 in each cloud. That's how many I had left. And I didn't want to over cluster it too soon, so I did a little spread and then I filled them in, and I love how it feels. I love textures. I love when things feel different than other things. So the bumpy knots were a really satisfying bump, soft texture on that jacket. I enjoyed it so much. It was very rewarding when I finally finished it and I can admire it. Oh, it's done. Bye.